What I've got for you today is supposed to be an absolute banger of Terran versus Protoss. This was played in the Esports World Cup qualifiers. It's a TVP where we find ourselves on the map site Delta. Now, spawning right here in the top left-hand corner, playing with the red SCVs. We have a man I don't get to cast nearly as often as I would like, because he doesn't really play in a whole lot of tournaments. We're looking at none other than Bunny's main command center. Consistently, one of the highest ranked Terrans from the Korean server. However, he doesn't play in a ton of tournaments. He occasionally signs up for cups here and there, but not nearly as often as I would like him to. His opponent in the bottom right, playing with the blue Protoss probes, likewise also one of the highest ranked players from Korea. We're looking, of course, at none other than Creator's main Nexus. Excited to see what ended up going down between these two, because this is a very long match. Yeah, kind of spoiled myself, but basically what I did is I loaded up all of the replays into StarCraft 2 from this particular tournament. And this is by far the one replay that has a bigger file size than all of the others. So I'm assuming this is going to be a long, drawn-out game of TVP. Either that, or we get like a million carriers flying around. That seems to make the replay files quite big. I'm secretly hoping, though, that we are going to get some nice macro here between these two players. So, Bunny does play in a few tournaments here and there, but it's sort of similar to, for example, Maru, I guess? Did he just cancel the Reaper? He did. Canceled the Reaper in favor of a command center and then go straight reactor, completely scoutless? Wow, okay. That is a very confident opener, because he's going low ground command center without any units. We have absolutely, yeah, no vision on the other side of the map. Creator, well, in the meantime, doing very similar things. But obviously, this could have been a proxy gate or anything aggressive. That would have been an issue here for Bunny. But it will be a quick adept here. Creator, by the way, also not opening up with any scouting here whatsoever. So there's a very good chance that even though I haven't really seen too many of Bunny's games, that Creator has been playing against him on the ladder a bunch. Because he seems to be familiar with what Bunny's tendencies currently are. Bunny's not signing up for a lot of tournaments, so it's kind of reminding me a little bit of Maru. Maru generally only signs up for the absolute biggest events. Bunny obviously historically has been very successful, but it's not quite up to, well, for example, Maru's earnings. I'm fairly sure though that Bunny is still playing a ton. He's just not bothering with these smaller online cups. I don't think he does any sort of streaming. He's just out there, yeah, playing the game, being really good at it, and then occasionally doing really well in events. So, a bit difficult for me to really place how good he currently is. His opponent, I mean, there are a lot of Creator games out there right now. Creator has been making steady improvements over the years. Certainly one of the very best Protosses from Korea right now. I wouldn't quite put him at the level of, for example, Hero, but we have players like, for example, Classic, right? Trap recently came back. I think Creator is right around that level. Stats would be in that list as well. There's quite a few Korean Protosses. Slightly above, or slightly below, rather, the man I would consider to be the best Protoss from Korea, but still certainly extremely good at the game. Okay, so we're starting off with a good old Blink Stalker opener. What do we have right here from our Terran? Well, a very quick triple command center build. So this is Bunny immediately settling in for the late game. So this man has not scouted at all. He hasn't even seen where his opponent spawned. Now, luckily for him, Site Delta only has 2 spawn locations, but he's gone very quick triple CC, now going into triple barracks as well. He's not gonna have any sort of medevac anytime soon. He's not gonna have Hellions roaming the map. There's no Reaper. All we have here is just a stupid amount of economy and then a bunch of Marines. Really? Why is one SC... Okay, no. I think we're all returning it. What? Why? Where's the logic behind... Huh? Okay. I don't know why. He's adding a 4th. There's no way that you benefit from adding a 4th. How does it work now? Because he pulled one of the SCVs that was going that way. Now we have 2 over here? And then... Okay, anyways. I don't know anything about game design, but this seems a little bit wonky to me. You can't force that, I don't think. Pretty sure if you move that one and you put it in again, it will probably return in the conventional manner. This is a longer distance to travel, though, than that. Anyways. Hallucinated Phoenix is gonna get into the main base, and it will see a lot of Marines. And I think at this point, Creator will probably already... Yeah, there we go. He will probably already realize exactly what's going on. Now he gets confirmation of what's happening. Stimpack is coming. Combat shields will be here as well in a moment. +1 infantry attacks. This is very much so Creator, though, in the driver's seat of the match, because he gets to do whatever he likes. Problem is, Marines, yeah, they're pretty good. Men with gun, not messing around. He's been happily macroing up. Third Nexus just finished up, and he's gonna follow this up right now as well with charge. So it looks to me like Creator wants to be the gateway man for now. Yep. Thank you for proving my point. This is a strategy that a lot of Protoss players have been very fond of over the last couple of years. You can still play the style where you focus a lot on the heavy hitting units. So that is obviously still something we see all the time, but like say for example Phoenixes into Colossi. The problem with that build is that you only have like 6 units and you have to micro everything really, really well. Whereas with this opener, there's a little bit more margin for error, right? Because you just have a lot more gateways to warp in with. You just don't have as many high-hitting units, or hard-hitting units, rather. I'm assuming we'll probably see forges going down here in just a moment. And then maybe even a 4th Nexus. No forge yet, though. When are we going to be building it, Creator? He did go for the Robo Bay. Yeah. Starts up the Colossus. You should probably see the extended thermal lens. Bunny finally moves across the map.
Ready. You want a piece of me, boy? Ready for dust off.
Okay. So originally, by the way, I don't think he can really do much. Originally, I was planning on casting the full best of 5 of this particular series. This is game 1, I believe, of a best of 5. The only problem is that this best of 5 series, at least the replay pack, it had a grand total of 2 replays. Oh, what? No reaction right there from Creator. Because he's busy right here microing on the other side of the map. Fair enough. Yeah, for some reason, the best of 5 folder only had 2 replays in it. So, I'm glad though that the very long game, the one that people recommended to me, that's this one right over here, that one was part of the matches included, but for some reason, I guess, I don't know if this is like, maybe it was a 3-0 in the end, I'm not sure. But I'm assuming that some of the games were missing from the folder. That happens every once in a while. There's finally the Forge coming up. We have the Templar Archives. We should see an armory and probably a second NG bay here in just a moment as well for Bunny. He doesn't have an armory just yet. It's about time we start that up. Yep. There we go. And Ghost Academy now also being secured, as Terran has now got the 3rd base up and running. Both players at 69 workers. That's where we're gonna halt for just a moment, at least as Terran. Creator, though, immediately skyrockets ahead in that regard. He just immediately started building some workers right here for that 4th base. Okay. So very passive game. 4th command center, about a 1/3 of the way done. That one, I guess, is relatively late considering the timing of the natural and then the 3rd as well. Creator already finished up his 4th base, but this is basically essentially both players just deciding, okay, we're gonna skip the early game, and we're even gonna skip the majority of the mid game, because I don't think Bunny is really gonna be able to line up any attacks anytime soon. He can sort of test the waters maybe with like a medevac moving out. He does have 5 of those. Yeah, he's got a little hit squad over here on the left side of the map. But this is not really an army that's gonna achieve too much unless Protoss makes a pretty significant blunder. And likewise, I also don't think Creator is really set up right now to go for a push of his own. I mean, we gotta wait at least until this upgrade is done. He's gonna test the waters for a little bit. There's currently no High Templar in the mix. He's got units running all over the map, trying to get some vision. Ultimately, though, the transition right here from Creator is into all of the sorts of splash damage you can get. Okay. Stimpack apparently activated here to get those units across a little bit quicker. But we're going Disruptors, Colossi, and Psionic Storm. That means Creator is going to be very powerful. I mean, we have Bunny moving across right now. I think this is mostly just because he's about to max out. May as well see if you can get some sort of value. There are ghosts in the mix. Ghosts obviously pivotal. Yeah. Ooh, careful. It's just so hard to really move in. There's only a handful of medevacs, by the way, which makes this all a little bit funky. Every single stim is so expensive. We have a drop going up in the main base, but for some reason we decided to bring a few of the ghosts as well. Those are not the units you really want to lose. You know that as soon as you pick up, you're immediately going to get blinked on. So, well, apparently even before you pick up. All of these units are going to disappear. We have a Zealot run by on the left side of the map trying to be annoying. But ultimately, we have the transition. Yeah. A little bit of early game play, a little bit of mid game play. But both players have decided that, yeah, there's like a gentleman's agreement right now. We're just skipping everything. We're going straight into the late game. The only problem is that we still have a lot of supply. Yeah, there's still a lot of upgrades finishing up. Carriers already building. Dang, okay. Creator, by the way, going straight into the carrier. That's interesting to me. I feel like most of the games where I've seen Protoss actually be successful against Terran as of late, in the late game, they focus a lot on Tempest early. So there's a lot of Tempest play, a lot of Sonic Storm. I guess this is Creator slowly starting to sprinkle in some of those late game units. Ultimately, by the way, we have more and more Nexi building here on the right side of the map. There are a few Marines set up, a few Widow Mines burrowed as well, just to try and provide as much vision as possible. Command centers are building. Bunny's gonna start adding on more and more detection here too, because he's a little bit concerned of a potential Dark Templar run by. I don't believe there is a Dark Shrine at this point in time, but he doesn't know. +2 air attacks already coming up, by the way. That is one thing that's really lacking for Creator. I think if you're sort of smelling like a late game Protoss, right? If you can smell it coming in, you pretty much need to start up that +1 upgrade immediately. Carriers just benefit so much from those upgrades. Especially the attacking ones, because, well, they all carry 8 interceptors each. And every single one of those interceptors, they attack twice. So it's effectively a +16 damage from every single one of these upgrades. So getting these quicker, very, very important. Armor upgrade, of course, is nice, but not nearly as good. Ooh. Tactical nukes coming up. +3/+3 for the biological units are about halfway done. 4 command centers on the production tab. Okay. Okay. Ooh, looks like we had a nice little Nova here. Yeah, all of these trades are nice, but in a very strange way, right? We're trading out Marines and Marauders for a bunch of Stalkers and whatnot. Neither of the two players here really wants to have those units anymore. No cancel. So this is really good by Bunny. Bunny actually just killing like 4 Nexi here. Twice this base at the bottom and then 2 over here in the top right. That means that in a very strange turn of events, actually, it's now Bunny who has more mining expansions. Quite significant. Tactical nuke. Number 1. Okay. 0 technical nukes. But no worries, we've got another one on the queue. Yeah, this is really wonderful work, though, from Bunny. I really like what he's doing here. Because if Protoss is stuck on basically 4 bases in total, they're gonna bleed out very rapidly. Like, obviously, Creator currently is maxed out. He's got a good number of resources in the bank. Bunny at this point has far less, but that's because he's been building command centers, right? As we all know, Terrans like to play SimCity. Okay, now, oof. Alright, that's actually a really nice set of trades. Dark Templar are coming, by the way. Where are they? Okay. The Invisible Men. Ready to go across. Never mind. Well, this guy is getting pushed around a little bit. Some of the Invisible Men are gonna go across. Some of them will turn into an Archon. Okay. I thought thought for a second that High Templar stormed itself to death, but that's because these ghosts, they were hiding underneath the carriers. The detection over here is gone. So at this point, Bunny is just sort of hanging out. Look at him. Yeah, he is just hanging out and just dealing damage wherever possible. Creator is hunting. He doesn't see. Oh my god, he hasn't seen these ghosts until just now. Now he goes back. This is something we rarely see at this level. Yeah, those handful of ghosts actually putting in a lot of work. They targeted down all of the expensive Templar. Yeah, now the ghost, out of energy, gets back to safety. That was actually really cool. Carriers take up a lot of screen real estate, I suppose, right? So it's hard to really see the little blur underneath. But that's the reason why we always see observers with those armies. There must have been an observer with the army, but it probably got sniped. Here we go again. Rinse and repeat. Oh, oh. This time around, he does see it a little bit quicker. All right. Mama ship. Coming up. 5th Nexus, though, did eventually finish. 6th Nexus, already done as well. So Bunny was doing an excellent job trying to keep those economies small earlier, but now he's going up against however much money Creator is able to get here. One little Liberator being a nuisance. Okay. So a lot of this game will probably be decided by cost efficiency and the amount of mining that can be done. Generally speaking, it should be about 50-50. So about 50% of the map should be mined by Protoss, and the other half should be mined by Terran. Which means that the cost efficiency is the main name of the game, right? This is what we're really going to be looking at. The amount of resources lost on both sides. Up to this point, Creator has lost a lot more. But this is quite literally one Purification Nova away from, you know, being evened up. Bunny at this point, though, going for a little bit of double-pronged aggression. Gonna be able to shut down that base easy peasy. Tactical nuke not happening. We did hear the ghost dying. Nexus is going to fall. Shadow Strike is researching at this point, and Creator is gonna push forward. Okay, Creator. What are we going to do? There's a lot of Vikings, by the way. There's, yeah, 20 Vikings. We need storms. There's not enough storms. We only have 2 High Templar in the mix. The Vikings can dance for ages. So I did cast a very long game recently featuring Estrella. He played a super long game against Spirit. And he played Mass Tempest, Mass Storm. And that seemed to be the best approach in the late game. I've seen a lot of games over the last few months where Terran is just cleaning up the air. Like, they're just cleaning up the air, going Mass Viking, right? Obviously a lot of ghosts, a bunch of bio. But they're essentially going Mass Viking, and then as soon as the levels of Skytools are reset, you go Mass Liberator. And I think that's probably the strategy that Bunny is aiming for. We're still a long way away, though, from Protoss running out of cash to rebuild any carriers. But it doesn't really seem to me that carriers are a very cost-efficient trait in the late game anymore. I mean, he's only lost 1 up to this point. They are obviously very beefy. They don't really die very quickly, but yeah. I guess the issue you run into with carriers is that all of the interceptors need to be deployed, right? And then finally you can kind of go in for a bit of movement and a bit of damage. We should really be researching the +3 air. He just chrono boosted out a Cybercore upgrade, but there wasn't anything researching unless he chrono boosted the last second of it. Bunny doing a really good job controlling the battlefield. Yeah, it's evident that Bunny is playing a lot. Like, this is not the type of game you just whip up, right? You don't just play this. Even though we don't really see him participate in a lot of tournaments, it seems. He certainly understands what he needs to be doing. Tactical nuke over here. Ooh. That always scares me a bit. I really like the positioning on that ghost. That's one of those locations where sometimes it can accidentally win you the entire game because you just blew up your opponent's army. Shouldn't happen. Where are the observers, Creator? What are we doing right now? How many observers have died this game? 8! Okay, well, there was one that just came zapping in this direction. But that's a lot. Normally, ghosts aren't really used for their cloaking ability, but... quite powerful indeed. The mothership, by the way, already gone. With this many Vikings, it's very easy for Terran to get rid of it. But look, this is what +3 armor looks like on Marauders against carriers that are not at +3 themselves. Like, they die, eventually. But it doesn't really, yeah, it's not very inspiring. Apparently, Bunny's starting to get rid of some of his own SCVs as he's been taking as many bases around the map as he can. So this, by the way, would bring him up to 50%. So the bases, if he can mine out the ones that he's got right now, that would bring him up to 50%. And with mules, you can mine out expansions really quickly. Creator is gonna have to... I think this base is gonna be tough for him to take. Same for the bottom left. I don't think Bunny should be allowed to have this one, but Creator not really doing that great of a job going around the map and actually keeping tabs of all of it. He doesn't know. He doesn't know about these bases. Now he's gonna stumble upon it. Maybe, if he takes one more step. Yeah. I've seen Creator play some really good StarCraft over the last few months, but I feel like this late game so far, he's the one constantly trailing behind. It's very much so the Terran that's deciding what to do, and then Creator reacting to it, rather than Creator playing like a proactive game, right? He's just following up whatever the Terran is throwing at him. Okay. He does seem to be fond of the counterattack, though. Base at the bottom of the map in a little bit of trouble, but I don't think any of the probes, other than, well, maybe these two, are gonna be within range. This expansion, though, now on the other side of the map, is gonna get destroyed. Building armor is coming up. That's actually a really good upgrade against carriers. +2 armor for all of the Terran structures. Yeah, I'm surprised we don't see more of a focus on... any High Templar. There are no High Templar out at this point in the game. So, in a straight-up battle, I feel like Bunny could just chase down this army and kill everything. Like, he could just easily kill all of these carriers as long as his Viking count is sufficient. Maybe he needs a few more of those, but... yeah, he's in no rush. He wants to finish up the full upgrades as well. As long as Creator is maxed, he's not going to be able to get any High Templar. But it feels like High Templar are, like, pretty much the most important unit you can have as Protoss in the late game. Okay, he's making another one right now, but he doesn't really have that many of them. Interesting approach. Maybe he's got something here prepared that I'm not quite seeing, but I've got a feeling that at some point, there's gonna be a big battle between both of the armies, at which point Bunny is gonna destroy all of the air units, and then we will see a transition towards Liberators. That's what we always see in the late game. And without Storm, clumped up Vikings can just do whatever they like. All of the late game upgrades now coming as well for Creator. He obviously has a lot of money in the bank. He can do whatever he likes here. Tactical nukes, indeed a bit of a no-brainer. For the Terran, that is. But yeah, the Gravitic Drive, also a nice upgrade. It's the Warp Prism speed. Another Nexus falls, and Creator once again trying to carve a path straight through the middle of the map. He's done this a few times now. Whenever he detects that the Terran army is in one location, he's like, perfect. You're on the bottom lane, I'll go to the top lane. See you there. And it has been quite effective. He's killed a couple of bases. That's a lot of interceptors, by the way. Oh, Archons, oh my. Oof. Archons deal damage in a little splash circle. So they can actually absolutely destroy Vikings as well. Like, they should never be able to get underneath the Vikings. With Ghosts and, well, Liberators in the mix and just Marines and Marauders, they shouldn't be able to get close, but one or two more hits and all of those Vikings would have popped. Luckily right there for Bunny, that did not quite happen. 12 kills right there for that Ghost, killing a bunch of probes earlier. There's a lot of scans available, obviously, at this point for the Terran. We have 10 orbital comments. That's really pretty much all you need. Creator actually on the hunt. Okay, let's see. Purification Nova underneath all of those units. Dude, there's 2 Templar. 2 High Templar. It's enough, technically, if you don't have half of them die. Half of 2 is 1 last time I checked, right? Like if one of them dies. And they're made out of paper pretty much. They die very quickly. I mean, technically, if you can get your storms to land where you need them to, I don't think you really need that many, but a little bit of redundancy would not be bad. Okay. But he's gonna start transferring those workers around the map. Further and further away from the original mineral fields we go. Next is taken in the bottom left-hand corner of the map. I think Creator is gonna have a tough time securing this base, but Bunny not making a move for that one himself yet either. Okay. Creator does have a nice set of ground units still left over. These are all very high DPS units, so yeah, Planetary Fortress should go down. Fight over here as well in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay, nicely done. Storms flanking this entire army. Another Planetary falls. The 2 Templar at this point are gone though, and this might just be what I was... Oh my god, what I was worried about. There is 1 Archon underneath, putting in a ton of damage. Look at him, popping whatever he can. Oh my god, dude. We were like 1 storm away from that being amazing for Creator. And now it, well, is the entire Protoss army destroyed. In the meantime, there was a nuke here at the bottom of the map that killed, well, probably about 18 workers. 19 probes remain for Creator. 15 SCVs remain here for Bunny, who's now indeed starting up the Liberator transition. Lovely flank right there, though, by Creator with the storms. He just, yeah, missed 1 of them. That 1 Archon, I don't know if it was this bad boy. Probably not. I think this was the unit or the Archon that was in the top right-hand corner, but there was 1 Archon that probably put like thousands of damage on a bunch of those Vikings. Now the big Stalker remix though, suddenly Creator is showing up. He did spend most of his bank, so he doesn't really have that much to go forward. Liberators are very good against these Stalkers, but they take a while to build, and they obviously need to be sieged up. Bunny, in a very weird angle, trying to see if he can control his side of the map. Moving forward, obviously Liberator ranged here is really good. He's trying to see if he can break the main base here, Creator that is, off the Terran player. A couple of Liberators trying their very best. Disruptor did get the snipe on whatever bio unit we had on this side of the map. They're gonna get recalled now. Okay. Creator has been pushed back. However, he does currently have a bigger army than his opponent. It's really only a few supply points. But considering this is now nearly a half-hour-long game, both of them are broke. Creator has been rebuilding his workers as well. Much quicker here than Bunny. Bunny instead trying his very best to just, well, get his income using those mules. I'm assuming the SCVs will mostly be useful for mining gas, but he doesn't really need any more of that. He's nearly got 4,000 of it in the bank. So mules are gonna be all he really needs. Oh, close. That is actually not a group of ghosts you can really keep alive. Or a group of ghosts you can really afford losing, rather. Okay, so Creator's income is actually looking quite good. You can tell when those mules expire. There's a very high peak. And then, well, the mules all run out. And Terran is going to be back to the baseline. He obviously has more mules mining. Luckily for him, he is still at 9 orbital commands. So those mules, very, very handy. Tactical nuke, once again, coming up. 100 minerals, 100 gas for those each. If you can kill a base, that would be massive. Pushing right over here at the front in the meantime is Bunny, trying to create a distraction to hopefully get that ghost to connect. But this guy is not cloaked. Oh, that's awkward. Probes actually turned back around a little too early, but only a handful of them ended up going down. Skirmish at the bottom of the map does continue. Okay. Yeah, and now the Liberators are so good. Oh, jeez. Careful, Bunny. Now the Liberators, though, are really good, because in theory, the Stalker should never be able to get underneath them. Now, obviously, it's very easy to accidentally slip up. And for, well, the Stalkers to maybe blink over these liberation zones. And then obviously, if you have to reposition the Liberators, it gets very, very finicky too. Dark Templar, blocking that expansion. Another base in the top right-hand corner. Marines and Marauders remade. I love how we always go from, like, low tech all the way to the tippity top of the mountain, right? So we go to the highest tier units that both players can effectively make in this matchup. And then when the dust ultimately settles, we go way back down again to the early game units. Some late game troops sprinkled in. Disruptors for Protoss. Liberators here for Terran. Okay. Bunny has been doing a good job, though, controlling most of the map, I feel like. Creator has been pushed back for quite a while. More Novas. Nicely done. I wonder if it's worth mixing in a bunch of Tempest here. He already has the tech. He already is at +3/+2 for the flying units. It's going to focus... It's going to force out a bunch of Vikings. But I think that's okay. Ooh, Mule will be used for repairs, and we'll keep that Command Center alive. It was all the way down to single digits. Well, now it's down to 0. 0 digits. Okay, another Liberator gets sniped. Nicely done here by Creator. Dude, I really think he was 1 High Templar away. I'm a little surprised we saw only 2 High Templar in that late game army. I really think if he had the 2 High Templar with the flank and then 1 over here with his main army, 1 additional Storm against those clumped up Vikings, I think he would have won that fight by a landslide. So much supply dedicated to units. Like, literally, like 1 Stalker less and 1 additional Templar. I think that would have made his army significantly better. I think you probably want to have at least like 6 or so of them. Just 2? Really? Recoil being used right now on those probes to try and keep them alive. They'll be mining, at least some of them will be mining on the other side of the map. Okay. There's 1 Viking in the mix. That one now has 1 kill on the Prism. Creator maybe all army hotkeying that a little bit too aggressively. This base in the top right, though, is really Bunny's lifeline. There's not a lot of money available here for Creator, but a few Dark Templar going to the top right and maybe roaming these outer bases would be incredibly handy. Base over here has been deflected again. But I think Bunny will be looking to land that one here in just a moment. So Creator has map control, but Bunny is still controlling the map. If that makes any sense. Technically speaking, Creator can go wherever he pleases, but every time he leaves a certain section of the map, Bunny flies a command center back in that spot. Tiny little flank, but you know what? Yeah, EMP and Marauders, not bad. Okay. Nova making it difficult for Terran to chase this down. Couple of libs here. Go, 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 go. I think you go, Bunny. Weren't we on our way there? You must have stopped it. Creator has not seen that command center remade in that section of the map. Bunny just scanned the bottom left-hand corner and he now knows that indeed that bottom left is not taken by the Protoss. That means he can start piecing together how much economy there really is here for Creator. A Zealot does immediately find this base as it is landed once again. Ooh, fully upgraded Zealot is going to be fought with a bunch of SCVs. Dangerous play, but he needs to do something. That Zealot is going to kill quite a few of them. I guess they're fully upgraded SCVs as well. Yeah, 1 Stalker right now decides to join in the party. 3 more Zealots show up. Okay. Bunny's mining in the bottom left has been declined, but this base... Creator doesn't know about this base. It's been taken like 17 times though. Bunny has been consistently able to mine these mineral fields, and this is an expansion that's really difficult for Terran to mine. I think this one is probably headed towards that direction of the map. There's, however, a missile turret as well as a Liberator, so it'll be quite tricky if it walks you straight into the circle. Oh no, he's checking for this one again? I think Creator actually has almost got like a bit of a blind spot here for the top right. He's been checking for outer bases all over the map, but for some reason, not the one in the top right. Okay, he's gonna find it. He's gonna find it, but this thing has been mining for several minutes. And that's going to explain Bunny's lead as far as the supply goes right now. Yep, Bunny's slowly climbing back up again as far as the army size goes. He's currently got 9 Liberators. That is certainly an amount. Oh, careful Stalkers, my god. If the Stalkers kept walking there, they would have been hit by their own Nova. Anyways, those Liberators don't have an easy counter. But he has been sniping them out of the sky one at a time. Oh man, we really need to address this base, Creator. I'm surprised there's been so little pressure on that base. I guess in his mind, he's been mining a little bit of money himself too. But the thing is, Bunny still has some of those outer mineral fields as well that he never mined out earlier. Now he's gonna address his entire, okay. He's gonna put his entire army in the top right-hand corner. It's only a orbital, so no planetary. Lips are gonna get sniped immediately, and that's gonna be the end of those SCVs. In the meantime, though, there was a little bit of a drop as well on that only mining base of Creator. So neither player right now, really any income. Yeah, there's gonna be, there you go. Just a little bit of income across the board, but very little overall. These mineral fields are gonna run out in the next minute or so. Okay. That will likely mean... Bunny actually has so much money. Bunny, why are we not spending our... What? I only just now realized Bunny has got 1,600 minerals in the bank. He had 4,000 gas. He must have spent all of it. But I mean, just make a bunch of Marines. Yeah, just make as many Marines as you need. Medevac over here ends up going down as well. Ghost Fall, and then also, well, all of the Marauders on the ground. All right. 10 Marines indeed. Build all at the same time. I think you just keep pumping out Marines here. Maybe not the preferable late game unit, but all of the gas has gone to those Ghosts and Liberators. Supply count almost even again. The thing, of course, here for Bunny is that his command centers can fly. You can't do the same thing with a Nexus. So Creator is forced to long distance mine, because at this point 400 minerals is quite a lot. Whereas Creator has got this base in the top right hand corner secured. However, Creator now also, or sorry, Bunny has that base in the top right hand corner secured. Creator at this point though has an opportunity to maybe go after some of those orbital commands and potentially even the main base. I wonder if he could turn around right over here with his army, right, from the army's perspective. Because a lot of that supply in the army units is currently in the top right-hand corner. And that is a base that Creator apparently is leaving alone. He's trying to force a fight. I think you don't want to... He's got to chase it. The bio army can kite this for quite a while. Keep in mind that while this is all going on, Bunny is mining, whereas Creator is not! Nice Nova over there. Stalkers decide to blink to the far left here. A couple of the leftover units are trying their very best. That's a bunch of Zealots and then a Dark Templar, killing whatever they can. Without the Liberators present, the Terran army actually loses this fight. But I think ultimately that will win the war. Nice commitment there from Bunny. That was a very difficult call to make. Even without the libs, he still decides that he wants to take that engagement. Obviously, he doesn't know how much supply there truly is. Okay. Leftover Terran units, though, are getting sniped one at a time. 2 medevacs. Bunny smashed his piggy bank, found himself with a bit of gas. He now scans the bases in the bottom left-hand corner. And I think this is a moment where you get a bit of a smile on your face if you're Bunny. That was effectively all in. This base is secured. Not really an expansion that Creator can do much about, I don't think. And at this point, the income advantage is noticeable. Yeah, this is about 1,000 resources more a minute in favor of the Terran. Which means that if Bunny can just hold it for another, like 1 or 2 minutes, he's gonna skyrocket ahead. He's already skyrocketed ahead. He's already more than doubling his opponent's army supply. Another orbital command will be setting up over here. Okay, Liberator's in a little bit of trouble, but this is very costly. Ultimately, all of the Stalkers and Zealots are going down. And I think that is pretty much all she wrote right here for Creator. That one Liberator being kept alive with a massive repair from the ground. GG is called. And it's ultimately Bunny who obtains the victory, but my god, he had to fight for that one.